Oh, hey everybody! We're here at Petland Norman this week, and we are going to talk to you about ferrets. Both some fun facts and about keeping them as a pet. So obviously, joining us on this week's video are 10 of some of the most adorable ferrets you'll ever see. These guys are all between about 10 and 14 weeks old. All of the ferrets that we have here are spayed and neutered, descented, up to date on vaccines. Okay, so something, and the reason every ferret that we sell here is going to be spayed and neutered is they are considered invasive. So before anybody can own them as a pet, they have to be spayed and neutered so they don't reproduce in the wild. There isn't a true wild counterpart to the domestic ferret. The closest thing we have to the wild counterpart of a domestic ferret are the black-footed ferrets, which are extremely close to being extinct. They're on the endangered list. They're highly protected. So some fun things about ferrets. Obviously, you can see they are very playful. They are very mischievous. Their Latin name, which I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to get into it, stands for stinky little thief. A lot of people think about ferrets and they think they smell. It's not so much that they smell, it's that they're carnivores, so their feces smells, their poop stinks. But fortunately for you, ferrets are litter trained, just like cats. They pretty much naturally go into a litter box. We work on that with them here. They normally just pick a corner and they'll go to the bathroom there. And as long as you change that and scoop that litter box just like you would do regular maintenance on a cat, you're going to reduce most of the smell. Also, whenever it comes to owning a pet ferret, if you're worried about the odor, we do sell shampoos. They love water. We have dry shampoos, and we also actually have a food supplement that's called Goodbye Odor that reduces the scent by 50 to 70%. So again, we talked about them being descented. They are in the weasel family. They just have a natural musk smell to them. But again, if you keep them bathed, you keep that smell very manageable. You don't have to change their bedding that often because they are litter trained. So a little bit more information on them. They live 6 to 8 years. I had a pet ferret as a child, and my ferret lived 10 years, so they can definitely go beyond that. The males get up to 6 inches longer than the females. They're much larger than the females, okay? Hey, I know, you're crazy. Something else, some people think like they see ferrets sleeping all day when they come in, and they just assume that they're nocturnal, which is actually not the case. Ferrets sleep up to 18, sometimes even 20 hours a day. So they are not nocturnal, they just require that much sleep. But their most active times are during dusk, and sunrise. So both sunset and sunrise are going to be the most active times for the ferret. Other than that, they're going to require a lot of sleep. Something else that's kind of cool about them is they go into what we call a dead sleep or a ferret trance, where they actually lower their heart rate, slow down their breathing, and they will sleep so deep that it could be up to 5 to 10 minutes. You would not be able to wake them up. So obviously, we have these guys very riled up. They're very excited by all the play balls that we have in here. But if they do go to sleep, they can sleep hard. We've actually had people come to us thinking something was wrong with the ferrets. They pick it up and it's just non-responsive. And we obviously always take those concerns very seriously, but with the ferret, that is just something that they are known for. Oh, you are a playful little buddy. Just like every animal, they're teething right now, so you're seeing them nip a little bit. It's not hard, and we do have things that we can do use to correct, okay? Male ferrets are called hobs. Female ferrets are called, male ferrets are called hobs, female ferrets are called gills. So kind of like a female deer is a doe and a male deer is a buck. A male ferret's referred to as a hob and a female is referred to as a gill. And whenever ferrets are very communal animals, while they'll do okay on their own, they do require a lot of interaction from you. They do really great with out of the cage time. So if you get them, you get normally a multi-leveled cage because they love climbing. But we always recommend getting ferrets in pairs or triplets. You can get one ferret and then start getting another ferret 6 months later. They are most always going to get along. And when you get a group of ferrets of 3, 4, or even 5, they would refer to that as a business. So that's kind of the nickname, kind of like a pod of dolphins, a pack of dogs. It's called a business of ferrets. They are very slinky, obviously. You can see some of the funner facts. They have a very special spine that allows them to bend just about in every which way. They were usually originally used for hunting, sporting. They were sporting for rats. They flush rats out. They flush rabbits out of holes. The black-footed ferret that we mentioned earlier that's endangered, they were smart enough to not even have to require to build their own homes in the ground. They were actually killing prairie dogs and then using their homes, their burrows as their own. Something else that's interesting is ferrets were used very functionally by businesses even as recently as the 1970s. Boeing Airline was actually using ferrets to run their wires through their planes. So they would put the ferret in the tube that the wire needed run. They'd attach the wire to the ferret, and the ferret would come out the other side. And that is how they were running wires as recently as 50 years ago for airplanes. Also, some famous event that ferrets were used, a ton of ferrets were used, was for Princess Diana's wedding. They actually used ferrets to run all the wiring so they could televise that event all around the world. So ferrets were, you were a hobby buddy, huh? Ferrets were used for that, which is kind of crazy to think how far along we've come in the last 50 years as they were using a pet ferret to run wires for them. So again, I'm pretty sure we're wrapping up here. You can see they're really playful. They do make great pets. They're very social. They definitely need interaction. They do great with other animals too. Obviously, they require supervision with your dogs and cats, but they can play really well with them if your animals are open to that. Providing them interaction outside their cage is extremely important. We recommend up to 4 hours a day actually of getting some interaction. That's essentially the entire time they're awake, since they can sleep up to 20 hours. But I think that's all I got for you here. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us and hanging out with our baby ferrets. If you want to learn more about them, I'm sure I missed something. I kept getting distracted by their cuteness in here. But you guys are more than welcome to stop in and play with them. We love to have people socialize with our animals. They love to be socialized with. And again, stop in, play, maybe fall in love, and add a new pet to your family. Thanks, guys.